What up, guys? Welcome to my reaction to chapter 1154, called "I Can't Even Die." Right? So, yeah, this is the newest chapter of One Piece. As we recall, last chapter, a lot happened. We learned a lot about our boy Loki. And how his mom threw him off a fucking cliff. That shit was awful. But here we go. We're now in 1154. Let's jump right in. We're starting off with a cover letter with what looks like to be Kikunojo or Kiku. Um, the Oni siblings, both Page 1 and Ulti. Yamato and I believe the new leader, the new daimyo of Kuri. And it looks like they're going to be visiting the grave. The grave of, probably, my guess is going to be Ryuma, but it could be someone else, right? It says at the grave of a hero born in the West Blue and brought up in Ringo. Yeah, so it's mostly it's Ryuma. Yeah, 100%. If he was born in the West Blue and brought up in Ringo, then I think it's Ryuma, right? Could be because I don't know. The Zoro lineage, that lineage, the Ryuma lineage is complicated as fuck. All right, so we're gonna go with Elbaf's past. 63 years ago, Lord Jarul, the oldest man in the present day, lost his partner. Cascade Beard Jarul was struck down dead by the hands of a certain young girl. Her name was Charlotte Linlin, a mere human, yet she left a large part of a giant village in ruins. She would later go on to become an emperor, earning the epithet Big Mom. Okay, the fuck? Are you telling me that Big Mom destroyed all of Elbaf? She like there's a whole image of Elbaf and it's fucking annihilated. It's gone. Right? She did all that? Big Mom. Big Mom did this. And we're just gonna go with the notion she was human. We saw her parents, right? They were too tiny. First off, question number one. How the heck did Big Mom's small mother give birth to her big butt, to her big ass? Sorry. Forgive my language. How did that happen? That's the first thing. That's crazy. That's goddamn crazy, right? Yeah, but we knew this. This is something we already knew. We learned this like a while ago, right? That same year, Elbaf faced a string of tragedies. It was a calamity after calamity. Sudden fires, windstorms, and bitter cold waves devastated the crops. Okay. The abnormal weather also brought fishing to a halt. This once magnificent land had fallen into famine. Damn, Big Mom left like a huge mark on Elbaf. Holy shit. Calamity. First, Big Mom destroyed everything. Next is like famine and horrible weather. And then here's, of course, Loki's mom. Now, do you see? This is all that child's doing. This land was cursed because you failed to kill it immediately. No, surely it was just a coincidence. I like how the guy, like one of her retainers, is like, no, this is just all coincidence. It's not the case. In the crash, she reacts in anger, and it's little Loki goo. And then she freaks out, saying, "Yeah, he's staring at me." And of course, cute little Loki's like, "Yeah," like acting like a baby, ga, then Google Gaga. The retainer's like, "Prince Loki," and then she's like, "Take it away! Don't ever let that monster near me." And they took Loki. Loki was huge as a baby. Holy shit, he was bigger than most giants. It looks like. Why, Prince Loki, you have to keep away from your mother's room. Gouge out those monstrous eyes if left unchecked. His curse will grow till it brings out this nation's collapse. Nah, man, come on, dude. What are we doing, man? And there's people that like defend this lady. Estrade is horrible, bro. You're blaming your child for what could be considered pure happenstance, and it most likely is pure happenstance, bro. And you want to erase him out of existence and all this other shit because again, coincidences, and you're mistreating him. No child, even at like Loki's age, should go through this sort of thing because a child does need its mother's love to go through development, to develop naturally as a baby. Some babies who are abandoned and don't feel human touch or a mother's love or any human connection end up dying, as far as I know from some research out there, which is absolutely horrible that she would put her child through this all because of his eyes, right? Which most likely come from the ancient giant lineage, right? Like she can't really complain when both her and her husband Harold both have ancient giant blood. This was gonna be the outcome. You were gonna get a child much bigger than both of you, much stronger, and with more attributes of the ancient giant lineage. So this is really fucking pissing me off, dude. Like she would put her child through this, and then here's people. Wow, I'm hungry. Sorry, sweetie. That was the last bit of bread we had. You're going reaving. We could easily steal that steal what we need from humans. Ain't that how it's always been in Elbaf's history? Don't be ridiculous. A senseless raid on them would only bring shame to Elbaf. That's the law of the land now. Okay, so people raiders. Those bastards from Hunter's village are attacking. What are they? It seems that they hit other villages too. Quick, arm yourselves. Don't let them loot the village. And so there were there was a civil war within Elbaf. Internal giant struggle weren't unheard of. During desperate times, but these incidents only resulted in making the period more severe and bloody. The country was engulfed in chaos and misery. And then he was like, I heard a rumor about the princeling born in the castle. He's cursed. And the bitterness festered as spirits broke. And of course, when the mother starts shouting at the top of her lungs that this is her child's fault and like throwing this shit out, it eventually does get to the public, causing people who are already struggling, by the way, to attribute it to something. When people don't have anything left and they're already struggling, a lot of the time they need something or look for something to blame it on, and this is the case. It's even the case in today's world. It happens all the damn time. When someone is not having a fun time in society or in life, they always try to look for something to put the blame on when it's really not that thing's fault or that thing doesn't have anything to do with that thing, but they just want to feel better, regardless of who they drag down with it when it comes to how they feel or attribute the blame to. Hey, wait, and here's Hydrudin. Hey, Hydrudin, your brother doomed this country with his curse, huh? As his elder brother, you'll take responsibility as a sacrifice. Okay, now the Giants are damn near losing their mind. What are you talking about? Don't you know my son's a cutie who's gonna be the world's longest living man? Canada, you're nothing but an outsider who seduced Harold. Go to hell. I love this country. Don't lay a finger on my mom. And here comes King Harold to save the day. I'm gonna flatten you. King Harold? Daddy. And then King Harold. Brothers, you must not fight amongst each other, the king. Word reached me about Loki's birth and the recent famine. I was building a rapport with various nations when the news came. Our allies acted without hesitation. They loaded tons of food and supplies to be shipped here. Humans may be small in stature, but not will. Our allied nations came together to ensure that we got enough to truly fill and satiate our giant bellies. We will graciously accept their aid. Harold, how are we supposed to dock on this island? Ha ha ha. Big respect. Dig in and fill your hearts to gratitude. And if these good folks are ever in a pinch, it'll be our job to return the favor with all our might. Remember, this tiny world is ours to share. And then, of course, Queen Estrid's crazy ass died. I don't know why you're crying. She she was a terrible person, by the way. Queen Estrid continued to publicly declare that the plagues suffered by Elbaf were brought on by the accursed prince right up until the eve of Harold's return. She denounced her son with bitter hatred until her final anguished breath. Naturally, the people believed her passing was part of the curse. Dude. Fuck. Loki, man. Loki doesn't deserve any of this, man. God, bro. You know, Luffy was right to treat Loki good and want to rescue him and say that he's not a bad person. He was 100% right, man. Loki's not, man. He didn't deserve any of this, dude, at all. This is heartbreaking, man. Just reading this is like you're blaming this all on little Loki, which little Loki probably, resented. Like he probably still carries that hatred, but deep down he cared about the people, cared about the country, loved his father and his brother, regardless of how people see him. He seems like a good boy that was just mistreated. He was born with a condition that affects his eyes. Well, he could see, but I understand what a pity. He can't even smile for me. I guess it makes sense. He did just lose his mother. Oh well, I don't think that's why he's not smiling. At only a few months old, Loki had given up on love. Getting even more heartbreaking. You sure have a lot of scraps. No, those are. Uh, and then it just cuts off there. Harold's diplomacy soon started to bear fruit, and Nobev's winter finally came to a close. Brown Shroud 1? That's right, it'll help build an inter-village trade and communication. Restoring the fractured nation and venturing across the seas continued to be prioritized while other things became an afterthought. Reek, someone essentially talking to Loki. Airshirt's older brother was appointed as Loki's personal steward. Why the fuck would you appoint him as that, bro? This is the realm of the dead, isn't it dangerous here? The coastline keeps this area separated so the peace won't come here. And here's his mom. You're so cute when you're worried. And here's Eda's a good woman, bro. You're pinching Hadrudin. Don't you have training with Elbow from West Village? You should head back. This is Eda's Tavern, you hear me? Fishermen, castaways, even pirates. I'm ready for any and all customers. With any luck, I'll be of help to Harold. So 56 years ago, Jerul's house, you were at the scene of the reverie incident, Harold. Yeah, my friend was one of the invited kings. He smuggled me in as one of his guards. I couldn't ask the questions I wanted to without blowing my cover. If that murder hadn't happened, I might have been exposed. If you were caught, be, all of this would be the least of our worries. Have you ever heard about Galeria Warhammer Company? Galeria Warhammer Company. Oh, they're talking about Frankie and his master and his brother in arms. They're that gruff troop of giant shipwrights that. Oh no, they're a different shipwright company. Okay, troop of giant shipwrights that armed themselves with warhammers. Right? Thought they were just a myth. No, they existed. They really did travel far and wide, sending letters back to Elbaf. The final letter said they'd all been captured. Can you believe it? Over 100 warriors were taken prisoner, including ancient giants. Do you think the world government was responsible? There's no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. However, they sank deep into the ocean at a certain point in history. Blunt. To be blunt, there's probably a deeper reason why their ideals haven't worked out, and it has nothing to do with you. Lingering animosity, huh? These are the rumors. These are just rumors, but I also heard a story about a frozen army of giants somewhere. They're talking about um Ors and Ors Jr. It seems our people are regarded as enemies of the larger world. Clearly, but I've already resolved to face any hurdle. Prince Loki, I know you cursed and killed my little sister, Prince. Okay. Now let's see what kind of garbage we'll be serving up today. While the horse of fortune died, the steward's body was in the realm of the dead. I don't blame Loki for killing that guy if he did. That guy was a piece of shit. He most likely did, though. Threw his body in the realm of the dead, or Helheim, as they would have called it in the ye olden Viking times. This is a disaster. King's Herald already left on his voyage. They're coming. Close the doors and get the children inside. 48, 48 years before present day, the villagers drew closer in terms of trade and identity, and the nation stood together. For the giant race to, my dream is to join hands in hands with many other countries around the planet. For the giant race to be welcome all over the grand world. And then here's all the people. King Hrold's so cool. He's changed so much. He's going to be a king who will go down in history. Well, you look thrilled, Hythruthin. Is it because you're a legitimate prince? The legitimate Prince Loki is a true heir, right? You're just an illegitimate throwaway, as Loki says. I guess I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame Loki for just being, cold. Like, he was already mistreated, like, within his first few years, and he sensed that, and it breeded a very mean-spirited individual. Beat him up, all guys. This is what Loki's saying. This is Elbaf, the world's strongest country. We don't need weaklings here. Loki, driven by scorn, unleashed chaos on Elbaf. Yeah, again, I don't blame people, Loki, for feeling that way. He laughed at the feeble as they ran. Hey, Loki, Dad went through hell to rebuild his village, huh? You think you get to call my father Dad? I don't get why everybody respects him. He's dumb for trying to play nice with those human insects. That's crap. We all should try to see each other's perspective. Don't get cocky just because you're big. Being cocky is my right. I'm Prince. Don't you dare talk back to me, right, as Loki smacks him. Hey, Ruthen, stay back, Gerd. He'll think you're his friend. Loki will hit you. Will hit you next. We are his friends. Hydrun, are you okay? He needs first aid. I get why Loki gets pissed off here. I guess because seeing anybody get treated better than he does pisses people off. But I guess Loki's just gotten to the point where he no longer feels like he's ever gonna get that. So he just plays the villain like everybody wants him to. Ha ha ha! You're so pathetic. I could puke, Hythruthin. You're just a group of weaklings huddling together. It's because of your mom's filthy blood. Young master that's going to follow, he's still son of the king. He's also a prince. Don't call him a prince. Loki spread pain and destruction, but nothing he did filled the void in his heart. Yeah, of course. He comes down to die. He tried to kill himself like um my bad for saying that, but he tried to end it the same way uh the Beast Pirates captain did, and Yamato's father, Kaido. And he's crying on the bottom of the cliff. I can't even die. What's the deal with this island? Where's the welcome community? And then there's rah rah rah. Oh, we found one. Look, it's a giant whelp. This is definitely Elbaf. Ha ha ha. This brat's got one hell of a devil face. I know he's a giant, but isn't it a bit too big? Isn't he a bit too big? Hey kid, why are you crying? And then Harold spotted this particular man 8 years ago during the robbery. He single-handedly killed a Navy HQ admiral and vanished without a trace. This feat earned him a massive bounty in the government's ire. Rocks the Zebek. Alright, kid, you better say yes to both these questions. I ain't the type to takes no for an answer. First off, this is Elbaf land of the giants, yeah? Second, we'll find Harold here, yeah? Oh, okay. Now I see how. I see what happened. My guess is Rox Zebek. He looks a lot like our boy Blackbeard. I can. He looks a lot like our boy Blackbeard. Just for a brief second, right? Um, looks like a lot like our boy Blackbeard, which is crazy how much he looks like Blackbeard. So I think it's confirmed. Roxy Zebek is Blackbeard's father. Who the hell he knocked up and how and how? I don't know. What's his ability? Who knows? Um, he is a menace, clearly, considering he murdered a Navy admiral, so he's hella strong. My guess is that he found Loki, right? And Loki was crying, sad, and just at his wits' end. You know, again, all the bad things Loki was doing was just a child, like, how do I say this? Like, acting out. trying to get attention in any way because he never got, regardless of what he wants, but what he really wants and what he really needs to fill that void is love. Loki never got that. If only people around him realized that, they probably could have prevented, you know, a lot of the like the dumb things he was doing as a kid. But I think what happened here is that he ran into Zebek, and I think what's going to happen in the future chapter is that Zebek is going to be the one to kill Loki's father, Harold. Loki and her Heidruthen's father, Harold, and they're just going to pin it on Loki because Zebek found Loki, and Loki probably was forced to tell Zebek where his dad was because Zebek is a lot stronger than Loki, and I'm guessing in this instance. And Zebek probably wants Hyruden to join his crew. I mean, not Hyruden, Harold, and Harold's probably gonna reject him, and that causes a fight and the death of the King Harold. And because of that, people are gonna blame most likely Loki. I feel like no matter what Loki does, no matter what he did, like Loki could be the most kindest person ever, and people would still mistreat him. Yeah, dude, Loki has a very sad childhood, man. This chapter, man, is really good. We've Rocks looking a lot like Blackbeard, bro. Yep, it's confirmed. Our boy is definitely 100% Blackbeard's dad, Teach Edward. So that means he met someone with the last name Teach at some point and had a kid with them. That's interesting because Teach is clearly what I'm guessing is Blackbeard's mother's name, and he took his mother's similar to Ace. Well, Ace taking his mother's last name rather than his father's. So instead of Ace being Goldie Ace, it's Porcuts the Ace. But that's crazy, man. What a good chapter, guys. So far, this chapter, after reading it and finishing it, it's fucking. Forget my language. Is like an 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Amazing news. Estrade is a horrible mother, and Loki suffered more than he needed to, and I kind of do sympathize and feel bad for him, though I don't, condone any of the violent acts he did. Though I understand where they come from. Overall, great chapter, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Remember, if you guys enjoyed my this read along and reaction, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, adios. Buenos días, buenas noches, y buenas tardes, wherever you are in the world.